Welcome, everybody, to this first episode of the official Masonic podcast for the province of Hampshire and the Isle of Wight. My name's James Burns. I'm a member of Wolvesey Lodge, number 6818 in Winchester, and I'm pleased to be joined today by
Roddy Duarte, also a member of Wolsey Lodge in Winchester. Good morning, James. How are you?
I'm very well, Roddy. The rain has let up and the sun, I think, might be starting to poke out, so there is hope.
Such is life in England, isn't it?
Why are we here, Roddy? This is a new initiative on the part of the province. What are we all about?
What are we all about? Oh, well, we're going to discover Freemasonry in Hampshire and Isle of Wight, and thank you very much to our PGM, and especially the people that helped us make this happen, Paul Hilliard and Paul Twelftree as well. I think we need to give them a thanks coming in.
Absolutely, yeah. The two Pauls have been absolutely key in getting this podcast set up. And as you say, the Provincial Grand Master, the Right Worshipful Brother Jonathan Whitaker, is the chap who's given us the permission and has given us the ability to do this. So this is very much, you're only hearing two voices today, but this is very much a team effort on the part of the province.
Absolutely. And again, what's the question? Why are we here? Well, we just want to tell the stories that are going on in Hampshire and Isle of Wight. It's a new initiative that we want to have more of a reach within the provinces. Well, the province of just exchanging ideas and stories that are happening around us that otherwise wouldn't be able to be told. And we do have a schedule of different topics and people that we're going to speak to and about in our podcast, because we will have many, many more episodes for you.
Yep, that's right. We're going to have, we hope, one episode a month, give or take. In this first month, you will hear from us twice, because this first episode is just an introduction, and then the first full episode will follow shortly after this one. But we've got a lot of topics lined up, and we'd love to hear from you about what you'd like us to talk about in the future. But we'll be talking to representatives of Royal Arch. We'll be talking about the festival, the charity festival that's ongoing. We'll be talking about ladies in Freemasonry. What else have we got coming up, Roddy?
Also, we're going to be talking about the North and South Circular, or any of the circulars that are active around your area, which means that you'll have opportunities to go visit different lodges. So I find that really exciting. Also, Freemasonry in the community. Also, the relaunch of the Light Blues, special interest lodges. We got so much going on. And also, I think that we're going to have an Isle of Wight special, because, we have to go. We have to go to the island, and we gotta see what brethren are doing over there, because I just find it so interesting, and can't wait to have brethren from there.
I haven't been to the Isle of Wight for years and years, and it's always been on the ferry. Can we take the hovercraft? I've never taken the hovercraft, and that would be a boyhood dream realized if we could take the hovercraft.
Well, you know what? We should do that, and maybe we'll get one of the brethren that work on the red funnels, red ferries, and just see what they tell us about the Isle of Wight, because they have constant contact there.
Yeah,
I think that'll be fantastic.
Masonic life at sea and on the island. Doesn't get any better than that.
So we have so much packed for you. And then we have a little challenge for the brethren around Hampshire and Isle of Wight. Mm-hmm. And, James is going to tell us about that and why we need your help on this matter.
So when we introduced the podcast to you a few minutes ago, I introduced it as the official Masonic podcast for the province of Hampshire and the Isle of Wight. Which,
so eloquently said.
Indeed, which I'm sure you will agree it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. So we need to find an official name for this podcast. And Roddy and I have been kicking it around, and we are completely bereft of creative ideas at this stage. So we would like you, our listeners, to, in the comments, wherever you're consuming this podcast, whichever platform you're using, pop in the comments your suggestions as to what we could call this podcast. We will select what we think the best ones are, and then we'll send them over to the Provincial Grand Master for him to make the final decision, and we'll introduce that in the next episode. So wherever you're listening, pop your ideas in the comments, and whoever wins will forever have the honour of knowing that they named the official Masonic podcast for the province of Hampshire and the Isle of Wight.
I think it'll be so much fun. And hopefully we'll be announcing that, maybe October time?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so once we get, the show wrapped up and, ready to go, and we'll be contacting you or the brethren, the group that comes up with this name. And I think it'll be, so exciting just to get many people involved, because this podcast is just not for the two of us or for just a group. It's for the whole entire province. We want to get have contact with you guys, and it's just time, and it's just only the beginning.
Brethren from the north, east, south, and west, perhaps, as I think there's a bit of ritual that says that somewhere. So I think we're almost done for this introductory episode. I think the one other thing just to touch on, as you mentioned, excitement just now, is what people have got to look forward to in the second episode. Because recently, Roddy, you sat down with the Provincial Grand Master himself and you had a very long conversation about the current state of Masonry in the province and its future under the PGM.
Absolutely. It was such an amazing conversation. We see our PGM just very actively in our province, and we wanted to sit down with him and see, what he was about, what he's thinking, how he feels about Freemasonry, not just from like now or the future, also from the past, because our PGM became a Freemason when he was 21 years old. But there's an interesting story or stories of why he became a Mason and why he's in so much service. And I'll leave that with you, because we're going to have a two-part series about the PGM and who he is and how our provinces and, here in Freemasonry and what's going on, because there's so much information. There's so many things happening in our province for our betterment as a person, lodges, and just as a whole organization. Also, one thing that I really want to stress is that we're going to try to filter information for you guys, so you could have tools for ritual, for organization in your lodge, or just even for yourself. I think it's very important that we have those conversations as well, or even just if it's news to you, because Freemasonry offers so many tools, and we have a lot, and sometimes we just need to bring them back down, or make them or make people aware that they're there, because sometimes I'm stunned of so many resources that we have.
So if you want to learn more about Freemasonry in the province, if you want to learn more about the latest goings on at provincial office and hear from the Provincial Grand Master himself,
yes,
what you need to do is subscribe to this podcast and make sure you tune in to our next episode, which will be released very soon, when all the good stuff will start to come out.
All right. So I think that's a wrap, and
I think it is.
Yeah, well, listen. Well, you got to listen to us anyway, because it's going to be a cool show.
That's exactly. I don't think it's a stretch to say that listening to this podcast is now mandatory. If you're a Freemason in Hampshire and the Isle of Wight, you have to listen. Otherwise,
Absolutely. And you know what?
Your lodge, your secretary will be writing to express his displeasure.
You know what, James? I also I want to tell the brethren, if you happen to find out who we are, or hey, these are the guys from podcast, just come up to us. We'll love to have a conversation with you, what you guys are doing in your lodge, or anything that you think is really interesting, unique, because we all have unique stories and unique lodges, and we'll see how we could work with you and have you potentially on the show, or bring up that topic. We're just so open. We really want to feature our province. James and I love our province of Hampshire and IOW, and we're just really excited to have this, come about. And I think we're done for today.
Yep, I think we are. That's a wrap for this first episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that gives you a flavour of what's to come. And we hope you'll join us for the next episode. Thanks very much.
Bye.